Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we want to give all praises, all glory, and all honor unto Yahweh,
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash.
Double honors to our elders and apostles, a great millstone, the men who rule well, and the men who taught us the truth.
Come.
All right, and a sincere shalom or barakim to the elect of the nation of Israel, which the nation of Israel consists of the so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, and so-called Native Americans, and also those of you of confusion of face. All right, those of you that may not look like a typical Negro, Latino, or Native American, but your spirit resonates with this truth and you believe on Yahweh Shem Yahushai and this 100% truth, man. All right, you are Israelites as well. All right, you would have to be. Okay. And pretty much we're just going to go into this topic, speaking on Isaiah 33 and 6. You know, we spoke about it at camp. You know, I was having a conversation with one of the Sharim, you know, one of the, captains, and we was talking about, you know, the language translation, how in the Spanish, you know, it's missing a word, you know, it's missing something. And we're going to get into that today, all right? So we're going to start off with Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 6, if you want to go ahead and read it.
This is Isaiah chapter 33, verse 6. "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and the strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure."
That's right, that's right. So, we know that what? This time that it's talking about, get Jeremiah 30 and 7 real quick, because it's talking about a very specific time, all right? That time that it's talking about is Jacob's trouble, all right? In those times, wisdom and knowledge will be your stability, all right? So now we're going to go into the blue letter, into some Hebrew, because that word stability is what's missing from the Spanish translation, all right? So we're going to talk about how important that word is also in that scripture, all right? Because first off, it's not just any wisdom and knowledge, all right? It's wisdom and knowledge of the Holy Bible, of the Holy Scriptures, all right? The Scriptures that are able to make thee wise unto salvation, all right? Now, when you go into the word stability, the scriptures say, Isaiah 33 and 6, "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times," right? The stability. Well, when you go into that word stability, in the Hebrew, it's amawana, all right? Which, you know, which the root word is what? Amawan, which means faith. And what's faith? Yeah, I'll get it real quick. You know, because we know, let's get the biblical definition of faith, you know. This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 11 and verse 1.
Oh, actually, you want to get Jeremiah 37?
Oh, yeah, we'll get it in a second. Because what? That amawana is talking about your firmness, your fidelity. I'll get it in a second. Let's get the biblical definition of faith, because the root word of the word amawana is amawan, which means faith. Now, this is the biblical definition of the word faith. Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Yeah, that's what faith is, you know, the things that you hope for, all right? The things, you know, your understanding of the things that you believe in, right, without seeing it, okay? That's what that is, all right? So what? That means what? In those times, your faith, Salakia, what's going to sustain us is our faith, all right? Our faith in what? The wisdom and knowledge of the scriptures, you know? Our faith in what's written in here. Romans 15 and 4. Before we get that, though, let's get Jeremiah 30 and 7. Because in those times is a time like never was before, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, this is real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Also, because the brother said that it's faith that's gonna keep us stable in those times. Because right now we're investing in building up our faith. We're investing our time into making sure that our faith now gets built it up. Because in those times, well, actually, Salakia, right now, at this moment, people aren't investing in faith right now. They're investing in themselves.
Yeah, they're storing up their physical riches while we're storing up our spiritual bank account, banking on the words that Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai gave unto the nation of Israel.
Yeah, because money and all these carnal things like cars, guns, whatever, all these things that you think is gonna protect you, it's not gonna do anything. That's why our faith is the holy faith is gonna protect us. Because these other men out here, especially these 2/3, they also have faith, but they have faith in themselves and they have faith in Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. You know.
Yeah, and the scriptures say, "One to you that go down to Egypt for help." You know, those that believe in which Egypt today is America.
Yeah, just because they're strong. You know.
Yeah, exactly. You know. Go ahead though.
Jeremiah chapter 33 verse 7. "Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it."
Yeah, that time is. Keep reading Salakia.
"It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it.
Yeah, which Jacob is you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, those of you that are descendants from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, Jacob's name is later changed to Israel. All right, which of course are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and those of you of confusion and face. That time of trouble is that time of trouble is going to come towards the nation of Israel. Now, did you read the part where it said he shall be saved out of it? All right, yeah. You see the part where it says he shall be saved out of it. That's talking about going into the elect of the nation of Israel, those whom the Most High Yahweh Shai saw fit for salvation. Those who are the elect are his chosen vessels from the foundation of the earth, the 144,000, 12,000 from each tribe, and the remainder of the 1/3, that great multitude whom the Lord saw fit to be saved. All right, so Salakia. So now that we know that this is that time in the time of trouble, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of those times. Which times? The times of Jacob's trouble. Those times when the Most High will begin to visit the earth and begin to judge America, all right, in different parts of the earth, all right. The time, especially speaking about America, because the scriptures in the book of 2nd Ezra speaks about how he's going to smite Egypt with plagues as before. That's talking about America, man, all right. America is the new Egypt, Revelations 11 and 8. You know, we're not going to go into deep to that. That's the topic for a different day, proving that America is the new Egypt. But, you know, we are going to, you know, speak about in those times how wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, you know. So I'm going to go into the Hebrew word for, once again, for stability, which is amawana. The root word being amawan, which means faith. But the definition here is firmness, fidelity, steadfastness, steadiness. So what's going to keep your mind right in those times? What's going to keep you stable in those times? The things, hey, get that, Romans 15?
Come, this is Romans chapter 15, verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
Whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and the comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
Yeah, because what? The scriptures, you know, it says in, I forgot exactly where it's at, where it says that these are the scriptures that are able to make thee wise unto salvation. Well, because what? In that trial, because that's what it is. Jacob's trouble is judgment for the 2/3, but for the elect, it's a trial, you know. So what? In those times, you know, it's gonna be a time like never was before. So what's gonna keep us stable is the scriptures, man. All right, our wisdom and knowledge that we have acquired in the scriptures. Whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning. Okay, because what the things that we are learning right now is what's going to keep us stable in those times. You know, it's what's going to keep our minds right in those times. It's what's going to keep us firm in those times, man. So we ought to study the scriptures and learn about the men of old, man. Whatsoever things were written aforetime. So what? We ought to look back in the times of Elijah, all right? You know, ought to look back into the times when the Most High delivered us, man, all right? Those are the things that are going to keep us stable and strong-minded. Mm-hmm.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, chapter 2, verse 10. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Mm-hmm. Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him?
You see, and these are the scriptures in those times are going to come to mind when you're going through something, when you need deliverance from something. Mm-hmm. For example, Daniel, you know, when he got thrown into the lion's den, you know. You're gonna, you know, and let's say you get thrown into a concentration camp. The Lord delivered Daniel out of that. Why won't He deliver me out of this? You know, I've been diligently seeking the Lord. I believe to be one of His chosen men. So Lord's will, He'll deliver me out of this situation. You see, that's a perfect example of how wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. All right. Also knowing that the Most High said He was gonna set up a standard. He also said His servants shall eat. You know, the scriptures say those that sow in tears shall reap in joy. So us knowing these things in those times is what's going to keep us stable and firm, all right? It's going to keep our faith strong, all right?
Yeah, if I may say, even knowing that what's going to come to pass in America is a gift in itself, because the scriptures say that it's going to come upon them as a thief in the night, but not to us, because what? We're watching.
That. Yeah, right? Yeah, that's the thing, man.
Can you imagine living in bliss in America your whole life and just
get a smack in the face?
Having a barrage of these what's gonna happen in these scriptures because it's within and throughout what lamentation and woe. It's not
Mourning,
always,
lamentation, and woe.
yeah, mourning, lamentation, and woe. So it's not always just happy fun time. You know, the Lord loves you. You know?
Right, that's the thing, man. That's the thing because what the Most High, gave us a warning. Is telling us what's going to happen because what the scriptures say, measure thou the time diligently.
Right.
You know, and then you're going to know when the highest will begin to visit the earth, man. You know, because the book of Salakia, what was that? What was I going to quote?
Yeah.
I think it was in Second Esdras. Yeah. Basically, the things that are to befall America, Egypt will plagues as before. Those things are going to be a terrible time, man. You know, you go back to read about what happened in Egypt, you're like, man, that was bad. But guess what, man? The scriptures speak about never a time being like it, so it's going to be worse than any other thing that has happened.
Yeah. Hey, and if I may say, because we read in Romans, the thing written Afortime is written for our learning. Also, what we know that there's nothing new under the sun. All right, that means that the things that happened before time, you best believe it's going to happen again. 10 times worse, like the brother said.
1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 2.
Yeah.
For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. Yeah, and when you read Amos, the 5th chapter, I believe, basically when you read about how as if a man did run from a lion, and a bear met him, and then basically there's no escape in that time. For those who are who that time is for to be judged. Because the elect is going to be delivered. Okay,
Right.
I'm gonna keep reading this though. Verse 3. Oh no, so that was a point. Yeah, for the day of the Lord come.
Oh no,
the day of the Lord so
verse
cometh
3.
as a thief in the night. Oh, okay, verse 3.
Yeah.
For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape.
Oh yeah, if I may say, because the brother quoted
Amos 5. I'll get that.
Woe to them. Oh well, it was
The
early in the
desire of
video.
the Lord.
Woe to them that have faith. If we're paraphrasing in Esau's chariots. Also like Egypt's chariots.
Oh, we can get that too.
Yeah, because the thing is, it says that peace and safety. They shall say peace and safety, but then what sudden destruction cometh? Because people have faith in America's chariots. All right, their army, their air force. All right, they have
shit right here.
Yeah.
This is Isaiah chapter 31:1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help, and stay on horses, and trust in chariots because they are many, and in horsemen because they are very strong, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord.
Yeah, it says that they don't seek the Lord, they don't seek Yahweh Shem Yahushua. They're really ignorant because really in their heart, even if they don't say it, they're essentially believing that Esau can take down the Most High. I don't even like saying that, but essentially that's what they believe because they believe in Esau, Edom, right? The modern day Egyptian.
That's why the scriptures. That's why Yahweh said that they are, year of your father the devil, and the lust of your father you will do.
Yeah,
they're fully given into Esau's way of living. They're fully given over to Esau. But let's.
Because Esau's he especially the 2/3 of our people who are destined to be destroyed. And it says woe to them because they're gonna die along right next to Esau, Edom, when the Lord obliterates them with the thermonuclear missiles.
Let's stick to the comforting scriptures real quick. Because we made the point that wisdom and knowledge will be your stability, your firmness, your faith, your fidelity in those times, man. That knowing about the scriptures is what's going to keep you stable. It's going to keep your faith strong.
Yeah.
So
we're the Kings.
Yeah. Go ahead and get that. We're gonna get one example of the things written aforetime were written for our learning, and I'm gonna get one real quick also in the book of Psalms. This is just another thing because these are the scriptures that should come to mind. That Lord willing, we're part of that number, are going to come to mind. This is Psalms chapter 34:7. The angel of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, encampeth round about them that fear him and delivereth them. Salakia. Yeah, that's one of those precepts that in those times, Lord willing, we're part of that number, is going to come to mind. You're going to remember, it doesn't matter what's going on right now because the Most High is with me. All right?
Whoa. Yeah, Con. I have another one. It's in Proverbs. Israel should know this. This is Proverbs chapter. Before we get Kings, by the way, this is Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. And all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Right? Because in those times, when the evils come upon to test the world, Yahweh Shai called it the hour of temptation. All right, there's gonna be a lack of food, lack of bread, you know, and Esau Edom is gonna present to him, present to the world the microchip, all right, the RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast according to the Bible, all right. And once he puts this out, as you as as being a member of the Lord, you should have foreknowledge, knowing that the mark of the beast is the RFID microchip, all right. So when Esau presents this tool of his, all right, that's gonna be the full of deceit, all right. And I remember I said in a video once that I thought during those times it may seem like getting the chip is the only way to get food or shelter, but it says what? Verse 6, in all that ways acknowledge him and he shall direct thy paths, right? Because the Lord is going to lead us in those times we're purely going to be moving on faith, you know, like it says, I think it's in 1 Corinthians, I could be wrong, that we're going to be walking by faith, not by sight, you know. So
I want to get the example of when Elijah
of course
had the widow went to the widow, remember, and the food didn't waste.
Yeah.
I already got it. This is 1 Kings chapter 17. I'm gonna start at verse. Let me think. What verse should I start in?
Chronologically, if it's about the fowlers that fed him.
You want to read the whole thing?
No, we just get to the points. Get the point.
I'm gonna start at 17 and 1 Kings 17. I guess we could start at verse 3. I'm gonna start at verse 3. Get thee hence and turn thee eastward, and hide thyself by the brook Cherith that is before Jordan. And it shall be that thou shalt drink of the brook, and I have commanded the ravens to feed thee there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the Most High commanded, ravens to feed Prophet Elijah. And these are those things that we must keep in mind, man, We're serving the same power as Elijah. Of course, we're not comparing ourselves to the men of old, but we have to remember that. Oh yeah, we're serving the same power, And why wouldn't He take care of us if we've been diligently seeking the Most High?
We're in the same stead as these men, all right?
Mm-hmm.
You like the brother said, we're not saying we're proclaiming that we're those men, but I mean we gotta have faith that the Lord's gonna do the exact same thing just like He did His men. We're no different.
Verse 5. So he went and did according unto the word of the Lord, for he went and dwelt when he went and dwelt by the brook Cherith that is before Jordan. And the ravens brought him bread and flesh in the morning, and bread and flesh in the evening, and he drank of the brook. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm going to skip down to verse, because that's one example. I want to get the second one.
Yeah, so he fed him for days, He fed him sporadically throughout the day.
I'm going to skip down to verse 9. This is 1 Kings 17 and 9. Arise, get thee to Zarephath, which belongeth to Zidon, and dwell there. Behold, I have commanded a widow woman there to sustain thee. So I'm going to skip down a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, and from
verse 13.
Can I say something? Because if you notice that the Lord keeps commanding what beasts and all manners of elements of the earth to do the bidding, to show forth his carefulness among his men. Mm-hmm. And just like it written in Proverbs, He shall direct thy paths. He's going to make it to where He's going to put the Spirit on people. Hey, and you read Psalms 34 and 7. Because, you can't forget about the angel that's watching you, and protecting you. He's going to put the Spirit on people.
Angels watching all of us right now.
Yeah, even making this video, man. Yep. So, you got angels protecting you, putting the Spirit on other people to make sure that everything goes okay according to the Lord's bidding. Because it's according to the Lord's control that anything even happens, Good.
This is verse 1 Kings 17 and 13. Shoot. And Elijah said unto her, Fear not, go and do as thou hast said, but make me thereof a little cake first, and bring it unto me, and after... Hold on a second, Salaki. I'm going to skip up. I'm going to read up a little bit. This is 1 Kings 17 and verse 20. So he arose... Wait, Salakia.
Are you reading about the widow, right?
Verse 10, Salakia. It says 20. I guess it's a typo in the 16:11. Yeah, Salakia. That threw me off. This is it? Does it say 20?
Just read out, bro.
Just tell me if it says that.
bro. You're not crazy.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm like, oh, okay. Salakia. It's a typo on the 1611, the number. They wrote the wrong number, but hey, it's called to up. We know what it's saying. Yeah, 1 Corinthians 17 and 10. I mean, Salakia, 1 Kings 17 and 10. So he arose and went to Zarephath, Salakia. And when he came to the gate of the city, behold, the widow woman, was commanded of the Most High, right? To feed, to sustain Elijah, his prophet, his servant. The widow woman was there gathering of sticks, and he called her and said, fetch me, I pray thee, a little water in a vessel, that I may drink. And as she was going to fetch it, he called to her and said, bring me, I pray thee, a morsel of bread in thine hand. Verse 12. And she said, as the Lord thy power liveth, I have not a cake, but an handful of meal in a barrel, and a little oil in a cruse. And behold, I am gathering 2 sticks, that I may go in and dress it for me and my son, that we may eat it and die. There was I believe it was a famine in the land, right? At the time.
Yeah. First King. Yeah, it was a time of really bad famine. And I think if you read about Jeremiah and Lamentations, it show you how bad it's gotten. It came to pass.
Oh yeah. I believe it's 2 different time periods.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because he was in Babylon, was he? I think it was Babylonian captivity.
The besiegement of Samaria, I think.
What is? I think it was
During the first Kings.
Oh, this was the time. Yeah. Verse. Let me keep reading, that we may eat it in. Okay, verse 13. And Elijah said unto her, fear not, go and do as thou hast said, but make me thereof a little cake first, and bring it unto me, and after make it for thee and for thy son. For thus saith the Lord, power of Israel, Yahweh God of Israel, the barrel of meal shall not waste, neither shall the cruse of oil fail, until the day that Yahweh, the Lord Yahweh, sendeth rain upon the earth.
Yes.
It was a drought.
Yeah. Essentially, what was going on there was like a really bad drought or famine. All right, and the Lord commanded a widow to meet with Elijah. All right, and Elijah came to the woman, but she and her son, I think it was only her son. Her son was gravely sick. All right, but and they had they essentially had damn near no food. All right, all they had was like I guess you can.
Said enough to make like a little cake. But I'm gonna keep reading it.
So, yeah. So essentially, it may seem to the woman and the son that they had nothing, but the Lord's gonna show a really good, really marvelous miracle.
Verse 15, 1 Kings 17 and 15, and she went and did according to the saying of Elijah, and she and he and her house did eat many days. Verse 16, and the barrel of meal wasted not, neither did the cruse of oil fail, according to the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, which he spake by Elijah.
Yeah, because Elijah, when he said that, that's a faithful statement. And he did it with faith.
Yeah, so, and guess what? The scriptures say, without faith it is impossible to please him.
Yeah, man.
So Elijah had that great portion of faith.
Yeah, and at those times we're not going to need a portion of faith, but you best believe it's going to be increased, because, and the scriptures say that all you're going to need is a mustard seed of faith. So you may not know breakdowns, but hey, if you have faith in the names of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, you're going to move mountains, man. So if I can get this is
go ahead.
John chapter 14, verse 12. Verily, verily, this is the Lord speaking. Or surely, surely, in today's tongue, verily, verily, or surely, surely, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do, shall he do also, and greater works than these shall he do. Because what? And Yahweh Shai, he did really good miracles. He did marvelous miracles, man. He walked on water, turned water into wine. And I remember brother saying that he did many more miracles that wasn't even written in the scriptures, man. So you can just imagine. But he told the men of the Lord, and the brother got out earlier, the thing written Afortime is written for our learning. So we know that he's not just talking to the disciples, to the Spirit, he's talking to us now. All right, for our learning to this day, after this recording. So how should I make sure that we're going to do the greater things than he did? Not in a way of like boasting, but just in a way to show you just
to
how
glorify Yahweh.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So I have something else in Kings as well. Did you read this yet?
Which one?
By the juniper tree, when he sat down.
No, I didn't read that.
Okay, this is another. Hey, same prophet, same man of the Lord, man. This is Elijah. This is when he was threatened by Jezebel, and he was in the wilderness because he was trying to escape her wrath, essentially. A wicked queen of Israel at the time, which That just proves she's wicked. There was no queens in the nation of Israel. But this is 1 Kings chapter 19. I'm gonna start at verse 3. And when he saw that, he arose, and it's talking about Elijah when he was fleeing persecution from Jezebel. And when he saw that, he arose and went for his life, came to Beersheba.
What verse you at?
Verse 3.
And they said unto him, Thus saith Hezekiah.
No, 1 Kings 19.
Oh, I'm in 2 Kings. A lot.
Come, this is 1 Kings chapter 19, verse 3. And when he saw that, he arose and went for his life, and came to Beersheba, which belongeth to Judah, and left his servant there. But he himself went a day's journey into the wilderness, and came and sat down under a juniper tree, and he requested for himself that he might die, and said, It is enough now, O Lord, take away my life, for I am not better than my fathers. Alright, so Elijah, he was in the wilderness, and you best believe the men of the Lord, they're going to be in the wilderness too. Alright, we're going to be in the wilderness, and it's going to make it seem that the Lord's not going to be with us.
Those whose lot it is to
be pilgrims upon the earth.
to be pilgrims upon
it's
the
talking
earth.
about in 2nd Esdras, you know? So, verse 5. So, because Elijah, he was at the point of, he had a broken and contrite spirit. He was done, man. You know, he just wanted to die and just be with the Lord, man. He had enough of it. You know, verse 5. And as he lay and slept under a juniper tree, behold, an angel touched him and said unto him, Arise and eat. And he looked, and behold, there was a cake baked on the coals, and a cruse of water at his head. And he did eat and drink, and laid him down again. And the angel of the Lord came again the second time, and touched him and said, Arise and eat, because the journey is too great for thee. And he arose and did eat and drink, and went in the strength of that meat 40 days and 40 nights unto the Horeb, the mountain of the Lord.
Yeah, I remember when there's a reference to this example. It was before we was even in the camp at I believe it was at Clarendon. He said, in those times of Jacob's trouble, man, we have to have that faith that the Most High, He's gonna do something like this, man. You might eat some bread and that's bread sustain you for like a week straight.
Yeah, that's what we just read.
Yeah, exactly.
40 days and 40 nights, man.
Come on.
A piece of bread and some water.
And that's the faith that we ought to have, that the Most High will do those miracles in our lives, Lord willing. We're a part of that number.
That was just one example. There's many examples like the water, Malak Dawada, right? The Lord's beloved.
Yeah, for the things written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience. I'm gonna reread that.
Yeah, because that's the whole theme of the video, man. Look, when you read the scriptures, you can't read it as like it just happened. That's just history, because that's how these faithless Edomites look at it. All right.
Right.
We, as the Lord, we have to believe what we're reading, man. These are spirit in their life. They are faithful and true. You know.
Romans 15:4. Just to close out.
Yeah.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
Well, actually, I don't know, precept. This is Psalms 91, verse 14. Because he hath set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high, because he hath known my name. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. So, with that,
that's all the precepts I had.
Yeah, come on.
So we want to give all praises, of course, all glory, all praises, all honor unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakak Kadash. Double honors unto our elders and apostles, who create most on the men who rule well, and Shalom Barakim to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.
Shalom.